While I was at work, I received a call from Joe down at the post office who said, "Hey, your chicks are here and they are pretty loud. Do you mind coming to pick them up as soon as you can?" And so, of course, I'm at work. So I called my husband, and being the good, sweet husband that he is, he went straight down to the post office to pick up our new chicks. He picked them up, brought them home, and got them set up in the new brooder. We've got chicks,
We
guys.
deserve our water clean and crisp air to breathe to sustain generations just like me. So we say, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Beautiful day, beautiful people. Felixia J here, and I am coming to you from the chicken coop because today we are talking chickens, layers, broilers, and how we incorporate them in our garden experience here on the Agway homestead. Let's get into it. Remember that good, sweet husband I mentioned earlier? Yes, he built this, what we call Coupe de Ville. And then this front area is a storage space where we keep our feed and tools for the chickens. And then it is separated by my lovely red barn door leading into the space where the chickens live. And so to the left here, as you can see, this wall is under construction, but that's where our nesting boxes used to live. And so right now the chickens are laying in a corner on which they choose. There is a feed block, their waterer. And then here is where we keep the feed in this large trash can that my husband modified and put holes at the bottom for them to be able to eat through there. And so this helps us to be able to leave days at a time if we need to still allow them to be able to have feed. And so we have branches that were attached for them to perch, and the chickens like to perch there at night. Here is a closer look at that door that my husband cut in to make it easier for him to scoop out the old bedding. And then that's our chicken run door. And then if you look up, there is a solar panel that leads to the light. And so the lighting out here is run strictly by solar. And we use this for the winter time, more specifically when the days are shorter to allow them longer days for laying and nesting. Up until now, we've only focused on our laying hens, and they've been doing their thing. However, this year, we're actually going to try broilers, or what most call meat birds. And so this year, we're going to try Freedom Rangers and Cornish Cross. So we're trying two different breeds to see which breed fits best here on the Agway homestead. So right now we've got a healthy group of 20 Freedom Ranger chicks getting settled in. They'll take about 11 to 12 weeks to grow out. And we're just excited to see how they do on our land. We're still waiting on our Cornish cross chicks who will arrive a bit later. But once they're here, we'll start our side-by-side comparison. We'll be tracking the feed, the growth, and their overall performance, including the flavor once we harvest them. And yes, we will harvest these for meat in our freezer. And no, we won't be doing any racing or cockfighting with these chickens. These are for consumption for us as we continue to take control over the food that we eat and consume. But throughout the process, we're learning from them. Every breed has its own rhythm, just like every season of life does. Some fast, some slow, but they're all part of the bigger plan. As a part of that bigger plan and this broiler project, my husband has also so graciously agreed to build a chicken tractor. It is still in process, but I'll show you a little bit of what has been happening so far. So this is the frame of our 10-foot by 10-foot chicken tractor. It is made from wood from both old projects and newly purchased wood. We'll plan to put a small door of some sort right here in the front. But we also wanted to put a door at the top as well. And we chose to do a screen door for that, something a little bit different. We're using hardwire cloth on the outside for a little bit more durability than chicken wire. And then the aluminum tin at the top for a little bit of shade for the chickens once they get in there. And as you can see, we still have some work to do, some more hardwire cloth, but it's a work in progress, and we'll show a video later once we're done. Now let's talk about where these chickens really shine. And that's in connection to the garden. While we're not rotating them in the beds, they're still a huge part of our garden system. So first, manure. Every bit of bedding and chicken droppings gets composted and turned into black gold for the garden. Hence what we showed you in our compost pile that we redid in the last video. Second, garden excess. If we have overgrown squash, bug-bitten kale or collards, the chickens get that and they love it. And so we're going to be doing that again this year. Nothing goes to waste. And then third, we're actually planting crops just for them. So think about the extra squash. Think about the kale. Think about herbs, because that all plays a part in diversifying their feed, but also reducing feed costs for us and producing healthy eggs and meat. Speaking of nothing going to waste, you know what gets me every time? Seeing how God amazingly turns waste into life. Manure, messy, uncomfortable, kind of stinky. But when you give it time, when you let it break down, when you work it into the soil, it becomes the very thing that brings fruit in the next season. And that's how God works in our lives too. He doesn't waste the broken things. He doesn't discard the hard seasons. He doesn't throw out what feels like failure. Instead, he folds it into our soil. He uses it to grow something deeper, something rooted, rich, and ready for harvest. Romans 8:28 says that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him. Not just the easy things, not just the beautiful things, all things, even the mess. So if you're walking through a season that feels wasted, hold on. The compost is working. The soil is shifting. And in time, the fruit will come. Let us not grow weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. Because with God, nothing is wasted, not even this. Whew, okay, so we're back. All right, so here's what's next. We'll keep raising the Freedom Rangers. The Cornish crosses will join the party soon. And then the chicken tractor is coming together. And in the meantime, the garden is waking up because it's still kind of cold around here. But we're getting there. And so for now, it's one step at a time. And homesteading teaches us that over and over again. We don't have to have it all figured out to move forward. We just have to take the next faithful step. And that's what we're doing. I love to hear from y'all in the comments. Have you raised broilers before? Which breed do you prefer? Have you gotten your garden started? What's one garden lesson God has taught you? We're growing roots, y'all. We're raising food and we're learning how to live slow, faithful, and full. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the full tractor reveal, the broiler comparison, and all the garden goodness coming your way. Till next time, keep planting those seeds of prosperity for generations to come.